I don't know if we're allowed to call them what we used to these days. Undershirts. Welcome back, YouTube. It is Wednesday, push day, day 69 of the bulk, if that means anything. Obviously means we're gonna have a great workout today. Good push session, a lot of chest, a little bit of shoulders, a little bit of triceps. And yeah, just keeping everything hard and close to failure. Feeling really good, feeling really recovered, sleeping a lot better. Energy, mood, strength, everything kind of just really in the zone right now. So a couple more weeks like this and we'll be in pretty good shape to start cutting. See if we can get to, I don't know, maybe 100 days or so of bulking and then just cut all the way to December and get freaky. We'll hit a warm-up set here and then we'll get another couple working sets in at slightly heavier weight. That felt really good. Big variable today is starting off with the incline press, not having done a bunch of incline flies before this, so gonna hit some incline flies after. So those will feel harder. These will feel a little easier. Normally 3 plates, not usually on the table, but today's the day. It's so much better in Spanish. Even if you don't understand Spanish, it's so much more funny. El ping-pong? Híjole. So, like usual, we are dropping the weight down for the last set, trying to get a little bit more repetitions here. We'll see if we can get at least 12. If we're lucky, maybe 15. Whew. I think that was exactly 12, but this is typically the weight I would be doing for the first 2 sets, so pretty good progress there. Instead of doing 8 to 12 with 2 1/4, doing that with 3 plates, and then doing my drop set with the weight that I normally would start with. Pretty happy with that. Okay, so moving on, flat press now. Again, this is one of those movements that I always keep in just as a high force, low stability component. So not using like dumbbells, cables where I'm gonna have to stabilize and shake, really just focusing on force output and consistent muscle tension as much as possible. We'll take this again somewhere in the 8 to 12 rep range, and then on the third last set, we'll drop down and try to just kind of pump it out a little bit more in a higher rep range. Feels pretty good. We'll keep the weight there for one more set And like I said, we'll drop down on the third set. Just hitting those intra-set, pre-set contractions, just trying to get that mind to muscle connection before we start pumping it out. If anything, just hitting some of those contractions after the set, just practicing for being able to hold those contractions and stuff on stage when you're going to be tired, you're going to be fatigued, you're going to be super low energy, eating the fewest calories and having the fewest resources that your body has probably ever had. So kind of getting into that mindset, getting into that headspace of kind of practicing how you play. Easy to say right now when you're eating over 4,000 calories, but when you get down to 15, 1,600 or even less in some cases, it gets a lot harder to cross the T's, dot the I's. Little lighter here. And we'll just see if we can get into that 12 to 15 rep range or as close to failure as we can. Yeah, so incline presses done, flat presses done. We're gonna make our way to incline flies, hit the dips, shoulders, triceps, pump check, lunge check, and then wrap all this up, edit it up, and get it loaded for tomorrow or today. That's cold-blooded. Moving on, cable flies. Really just focus on stretching the pec as much as possible, taking the pecs through as much range of motion as possible. They've already experienced a lot of heavy force, so just trying to maximize range now. Big challenge with these standing fly variations is really what your rib cage does. So if your rib cage is, extending back like this, it's really going to change the plane of motion of your arms, thus changing the stimulation, activation, and range of your pec. Especially if you're kind of like leaning forward like that and coming down, really easy to start using traps and shoulders to kind of like use your body weight. So your pec's not having to work as hard. If you're coming up like this, you might be leaning into your lumbar a lot and maybe going really high incline, which means you might be using a lot more like front delt bicep. So I'm kind of just a fan of like pretty straightforward flies, pretty horizontal, perpendicular to the ground, to use all of our elementary school math terms. Or maybe just like a slight incline, slightly coming up towards like chin or like nose height from our starting position. I don't really love a whole bunch of, upward motions, downward motions. I don't think you're really changing the effect on the pec. You're changing the effect of how many other muscles are creeping into the movement. But that's just me. What's the point of being strong if you can't clean up your own fucking weights? You all right, Sandy? It's like when you give someone their first edible, they're like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. What do you mean? What's wrong with you?
Why don't you look like this?
The internet is undefeated.
Tried their wings.
Yeah?
Popeye's wings. Oh.
I didn't even know Popeyes had wings. Ooh. He kind of hit me with the Dave Chappelle, like, I'm sorry, officer, I didn't know I couldn't do that.
Now you know it, man.
Moving on, just gonna knock out some triceps here, hit 4 working sets, and then we'll be done for today. That is a wrap for today. Push day here, Adapt Fitness, Dallas, Texas. Yeah, we got check-in tomorrow, every Thursday. Probably hoping to be around 224 to 226 tomorrow. Kind of been staying pretty consistent at 225 most of this week. So hopefully we can just kind of hold that. And yeah, overall, just keep climbing up the bulking ladder. Yeah, we'll get a little pump check and see you tomorrow. Bye, Sandy. And bye to you too. Gotta break the seal on the bottom of these. I don't know if we're allowed to call them what we used to these days. Undershirts. But good little push day. Chest popping, shoulders popping, arms a little easier to see obviously without the tattoos, but yeah, again, things are moving in the right direction, things are scaling in the right direction, and just enjoying the process, enjoying the grind. Ironically, I felt like bulking was going to be a lot harder, but luckily we already have a good amount of size, so not trying to get huge, just trying to kind of pack on some areas to look a little bit more symmetrical. I kind of had a thought process last week where I was thinking like, I'm 222, 223, I probably should be 235 before starting a cut, but in reality, I think I got so obsessed on the size component and the fear of losing a lot of that muscle mass as we were going to get into the cut. So talking with Nick talking with some other people that I know that have done it before, they all seem to be pretty happy with where I'm at to start right now. Obviously a little fluffy in the midsection, but maintaining some good size and stuff with not too many calories. Again, yeah, 4,000 calories. It's a lot for most people, but it's kind of where I'm at in terms of just maintenance for the most part. I'm kind of sticking since day one of the bulk, kind of recomping, maybe on accident, because I'm still about 222 to 226, kind of within that window the whole time, but packing on some good muscle, not packing on too much fat, and just gonna see if we can get a little bit closer to 230. Maybe that's just a me thing, but other than that, again, really happy with way things are going, way things are shifting, and how we're kind of setting ourselves up for show number 1. So December coming at you soon. And yeah, we got about 30 weeks to just get freaky. Again, Bo Alexander, Adapt Fitness, Dallas, Texas, and we will see you next time.